Welcome. The kidneys don't work alone. They're part of a dynamic system that constantly adjusts fluid balance, disposes of wastes, and depends on other organs when problems arise. In this module, we'll look at how kidney function is regulated, how urine is formed and expelled, the supporting roles of organs like the lungs and liver, and the common disorders that affect the excretory system. To understand renal regulation, think of the kidneys as being guided by master controllers of homeostasis. Hormonal feedback loops sit at the center of this control. They sense changes in blood volume, pressure, and composition, and respond to keep everything stable. Key players here include the renin-angiotensin system and signals from the hypothalamus. Let's begin with osmoreceptors. These specialized sensors in the hypothalamus detect when the body loses too much fluid or when blood osmolarity rises. In response, they trigger release of antidiuretic hormone or ADH from the posterior pituitary. ADH tells the kidney tubules to reabsorb more water, reducing urine output and helping to restore normal fluid volume. It can also cause mild vasoconstriction, which supports blood pressure as fluid balance is corrected. The juxtaglomerular apparatus, or JGA, provides another essential control pathway. When renal perfusion or sodium delivery falls, the JGA releases renin. Renin starts a cascade that produces angiotensin II, a powerful vasoconstrictor that also stimulates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. Aldosterone increases sodium and therefore water reabsorption in the tubules, helping to raise blood pressure and preserve filtration. The heart contributes through atrial natriuretic factor or ANF, which acts as a safety valve. When the atria are stretched by increased blood volume, ANF is released. It promotes vasodilation and enhances excretion of sodium and water, lowering blood volume and pressure. In short, ANF counterbalances the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system to prevent excessive rises in pressure. Now to micturition, the process of emptying the bladder. As the bladder fills, stretch receptors send signals to the central nervous system. A coordinated reflex causes the detrusor muscle of the bladder to contract, while the urethral sphincter relaxes, allowing urine to be expelled. Voluntary control from higher centers can delay the reflex until conditions are appropriate. Urine analysis is a simple but powerful diagnostic tool. Normal daily urine volume is about 1 to 1.5 liters, and a typical pH is slightly acidic, near 6. Finding glucose or ketone bodies in urine points toward metabolic problems such as diabetes. Urea and other nitrogenous wastes reflect protein metabolism and renal excretory function, while color and clarity give additional clinical clues. Other organs play important supporting roles in excretion. The lungs remove large amounts of carbon dioxide and also expel water vapor. The liver metabolizes many substances and secretes bile that carries waste products like bilirubin and excess cholesterol into the digestive tract for elimination. Together, these organs reduce the burden on the kidneys. The skin and associated glands also help eliminate wastes. Sweat glands produce a watery secretion containing sodium chloride, small amounts of urea, and lactic acid, which both cool the body and remove solutes. Sebaceous glands secrete oily substances like sterols and waxes that provide a protective covering and can carry away some lipid-soluble wastes. Saliva removes trace amounts of nitrogenous compounds as well. When the kidneys fail to clear wastes properly, serious disorders can develop. Uremia describes the accumulation of urea and other nitrogenous wastes in the blood due to impaired renal function. It's a dangerous condition that can lead to systemic toxicity and usually signals the need for urgent medical intervention. Hemodialysis is one common intervention for renal failure. In a dialysis session, blood is diverted through an external dialyzing unit, anticoagulated with heparin to prevent clotting, passed along a semi-permeable membrane against a dialysate fluid, and then returned to the circulation after the anticoagulant is neutralized. This process removes excess solutes and fluid when the kidneys can't. The mechanism of dialysis relies on diffusion across a porous membrane. Wastes in the blood move down their concentration gradients into the dialyzing fluid, which contains no nitrogenous wastes. For some patients, kidney transplantation offers a more definitive solution. A donor kidney is surgically connected, often to the iliac vessels, and using a closely related donor can reduce the risk of immune rejection. Other common renal disorders include kidney stones or renal calculi, hard masses of crystallized salts such as oxalates that can obstruct flow and cause severe pain, and glomerulonephritis, which is inflammation of the glomeruli that impairs the kidney's filtering ability and can lead to progressive loss of function. To recap, kidney function is maintained by coordinated feedback systems: the hypothalamus and ADH for water balance, the JGA and renin-angiotensin-aldosterone pathway for pressure and sodium balance, and cardiac ANF to check excess volume. Micturition is a reflex triggered by bladder stretch. Urine testing helps diagnose metabolic disease like diabetes, and other organs such as lungs, liver, and skin share the excretory workload. Major disorders include uremia, renal calculi, and glomerulonephritis, and treatments range from dialysis to transplantation depending on severity.
That's it for today. Learn smarter with EduRev. Notes, tests, and practice in one app. Download EduRev now on Play Store and App Store and keep learning every day.